Reload. Ready?
Yeah.
You look ready.
What is going on, comic fans? Happy Sunday. That means this is at Week's End, the spoiler-filled look back at this week in comics and more. And it's a big night. It's the big Legion Loot giveaway night. It's also new episodes of House of Dragon, The Acolyte. We got new comics to talk, big events started. There's just a lot of stuff to be excited about. We're going to get into all of that right after this.
You look ready.
You look ready. That's awesome. It's such a damn good movie. That was like, it played out so beautifully with that balance early when they first got into the building and stuff started hitting the fan. And he asked her, "Are you ready?" And she said, "Yeah." He said, "You don't look ready." She goes, "It's just adrenaline, sir."
Yeah.
By the end of the movie, after all the stuff they go through, you look ready. Yeah. It's just so good. That's a flawless film. I don't know if there's anybody watching that has not seen Dredd, or if it's been a while since you've seen Dredd. Go back and watch Dredd again, and you'll be left in disbelief with how good that movie is. It really is amazing. But how are you doing this evening, Paul?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
See, I can go on positive rants too.
That was it? That was your positive rant?
That was
How are you
it.
doing? Okay.
No.
Oh, no, on Dread. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I feel like talking about it some more.
It all depends on what the subject of the sentence is.
I guess it does, right? Speaking of positivity, aggressively relaxing. He's got some stuff that came up. He's actually helping a family member with their vehicle issues that they're having right now. So he's probably not going to make it back in time to join, but he should be joining next week to counterbalance my take on the Acolyte. So someone's got to do it, and he's happy to do it. He's also a very well-read fan of the Game of Thrones stuff. So I'm excited because y'all know aggressively relaxing. He goes deep when it goes to anything. He reads all the books, picks up all the comics, probably participates anonymously on all the forums that are out there. I only assume that he is behind every Star Trek forum that exists, probably anonymously, just, for reasons that only he would understand. But he should be back next week. Excited about that. But in the meantime, don't forget to check out Big Time Collectibles. They sponsor the channel. They provide some awesome giveaways for the viewers, subscribers, and the channel members. And it's convention season. That means they're dropping all kinds of cool stuff right now. So you don't want to miss out on any of that. And if you need anything cleaned or pressed, Justin's got you covered. Hit the description. The links are all there. Let them know you found them via the channel. And if you're ever looking for a place to pick up your new comic books, look no further than ABX Comics and Games, the community's comic shop. They also have you covered. If you don't have access to comic books yourself, they are now the proud LCS of Burke Family 54 Comics, Collecting with Durs. Adventurous Joe orders from them. Brian LCS orders from them. And, of course, myself and the Comic Viking are here local with them. You'll find no better comic shop on the planet. It just doesn't exist. There's phenomenal ones out there, and a lot of them, but there's only one best. ABX.
There can only be one.
And that's not an opinion. That's a fact. Yeah, we learned that, didn't we? There can only be one. I guess we're going to be talking about news about that coming up not too long from now, right? With Henry Cavill taking on the role of Highlander. I'm excited to see what he does. So, more time for fans to pretend like they love Henry Cavill than never pay to go see his movie. It's unfortunate. People like the actor. They like him as a person. I don't think they care for him as an actor, to be honest with you.
I think he's putting all his energy into Warhammer.
Yeah, dude, that has a lot of potential, though, right? That's a huge fandom. That's a huge IP.
Yeah, and he is a huge Warhammer fan.
Yeah, and we know he's a big fan of lore and source material, and if you don't respect it, he'll walk. Which is kind of funny looking at it. Came from the Snyderverse, but let you know, like I don't know, man. We're not going to get into a Snyder discussion, but that tells you a lot there. That he'll walk from a property if it's like not respecting the material like it should. But he stayed for Snyder, so what does that tell you? Right. Snyder was, in the words of the kids out there, Snyder was cooking. Well, let's say hey to the chat real quick. We got I Have Comic Issues. What is going on, homie? Good to see you in here. he did a Whatnot show. His wife also does Whatnot shows, that separate Whatnot people, but he helped his wife with her Whatnot show today. And he put out a call to the chats and said, if you're feeling daring, check out my wife's Whatnot stream. She's going to be selling some clothes. I'll be helping her. And I popped over there to check it out, to give it a follow, because I know that kind of stuff helps the algorithm. I assume it does, you know. And I saw them selling some clothes. So I just walked in the room with my wife and I sat down next to Kyle and showed her my phone. She goes, oh my God. And I just let her have my phone for an hour, and she got to play on Whatnot for the first time ever. She picked up some cool stuff. So be sure to check out I Have Comic Issues. Check him out on Whatnot. You go over to his YouTube channel, and I'm sure you can find the links and the routes to get to all the other stuff he's got going on. Dark Side Raider, what is going on? Good to see you back over here. Las Crucius, 1971. What is up, homie? Good to see you in here. Lord of Brooklyn, BK for life. What's happening? We got Tony from the Comiverse. Remember, for 16 months strong. Good evening, everyone.
Nice.
We are Legion. Custom emojis, all that good stuff. Scotty, what is happening? Yapple dapple to you too. And to DVH from the Spiral Dimension. How are you tonight? Hoot, hoot, hoot. That's right. That's right. Brother John, what is going on, homie? What is good with you? Hope you're doing well today. Hopefully, we'll see you on the channel here in not too long. I'm going to be reaching out, calling an audible. I love getting to ask John for a favor. Like, hey, man, can you fill in for me? But his vacation's coming up next week, John, and I can never guarantee where I'll be. But Paul might need your help, my friend. Steven with a C, what is happening? Hope you're doing good. Long time. That's a day one channel member right there. Day one channel member. So are you. There's a lot of them. I think about it. I think the vast majority of the channel members are day one channel members. That's really cool. What is going on, Comic Cap Collectibles? Hope you're doing good, homie. Good to see you in here. What is going on, Kev? Hello, hello. Greetings. Hey, Mark is less ready today. Just a little bit. Christina Payne, how are you? Happy Sunday. Been a while since Shred. Dude, do yourself a favor. I got the Steelbook. I scoured the internet for some Steelbooks at good prices, and I picked up the Steelbook and I rewatched it when it came in on 4K. And dude, it's only gotten better with time, like so much better. And Lena Headey playing Ma and everything, she crushes it. ID4 is the movie of the week. Is that Independence Day?
Yeah.
It was a good movie. I remember seeing that one in theaters. I was young when that one came out. So good, though. What is going on, Jim? Hope you're doing good this evening. Hey, Gary. What's up, homie? Stopping by to crush that like button before heading to work. Have a good night, man.
Thanks.
Have a good night. I have a lot of opinions on Acolyte. Mostly good. Oh, I'm the reverse. Oh, super excited to talk to the Acolyte. Well, I think luckily House of Dragon started. Luckily for me, House of Dragon started. That means I think most of my time is going to go to that for sure. At least it's a lot more fun to discuss stuff that's fun, that's exciting. I know everyone's mileage may vary, but for me, House of Dragon is just completely overshadowed everything else on TV right now. What's going on, House of L? Digger Jim dropping that 33-month strong Roadhouse. There it is. Yes. Yeah, and that's a little Easter egg to this fantastic show called the Unchosen Ones podcast. My buddy on Instagram by the handle of Coco Unlimited, him and his brother host. It's a fairly new podcast called the Unchosen Ones, and it's a delight, dude. It is so funny. I disagree with them just as much as I agree with them. They got takes that drive me up the wall, and they got takes that make me laugh. But the dynamic between these two brothers is phenomenal. They're just amazing. What's going on, Vogsy?
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Appreciate what?
What he said.
I didn't even read it. That's my bad. Awesome job on Only Slabs. Yeah, it was. It was a good show. Is Whatnot an app or a website? Yes. I think if you go to the website, it just tells you to open the app kind of thing.
Yeah, it's pretty much an app.
Yeah, it only functions as an app. I'm here to end the week. You've done it. Congratulations. Hope you're doing good, Mr. Beckerman. Carlito, hello, hello. David Batty, how are you doing? This show, every waits all week for. Yep. Everyone waits. Yeah, I do. I definitely wait all week for it. I look forward to popping on here and in the week strong. What is going on, Trev? Good to see you in here. Trev will be live later this evening as well. And
He will
Segue.
be he and Mike from Evil's Comics, the hosts of Sunday Night Live, will be on the next episode of Guess That Key a week from Wednesday.
We'll do. Yeah. So Donovan here, his family suffered a loss, so they're going through a tough time. Send him all the prayers and good vibes his way. If anybody out there is into that thing, House of L can definitely use them. Hip Hop to me, what is going on? How are you? Hello. Let's see. Sundays are great. Yeah, they're better every other weekend, in my opinion. Every other weekend, for some reason, they're just a little bit better. Probably has to do with not having to work. But man, work was satisfying today. It was the great departure, the exodus from the holidays. Sent home like close to 50 animals all in a 4-hour window. So it's nice just watching like the workload just evaporate in front of your eyes. It's fantastic. What is going on, Dale? Hope you're doing good. Hello to you. Boom, 19 months strong. Caught up with House of the Dragon earlier. What an awesome series. Though Dragon be fire. Dude, it is insane. Like it's hard to find shows that really rival the writing and execution of what you get from like HBO originals. And that's nothing new. That's been the gold standard for as long as I can remember. Like since HBO started.
It's not just TV.
Well, the coolest lineup. It's not just TV, it's HBO.
Yeah. Of course, lately it's like it's not just TV, it's porn.
Yeah, it's Max, right? they bought Cinemax years ago. They're finally putting it in. Golly, putting it in. Poor choice of words.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll get into it in just a little bit here. Izzyverse NYC, what is going on? Hope you're doing good. Phil's Treehouse is up in here. Hello. Why does everything have to be great or terrible? Enter Acolyte. LOL. Exactly. Yep, the 17th. Can't wait. Make sure I ain't missing one. Definitely keep you guys in our prayers. I appreciate that, Izzy. Guys, you can't bark at every piece of thunder. Come on now. Hey, it's okay. Chill. They guard the house very well. Bottom tier collector, what is happening, homie? Hope you're doing good. 15 months strong from the Izzyverse. It may not be 19 months, but 15 is good too. Rat years. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, people bring their pets to the beach for vacation. Our beach is a dog walking beach every morning. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's always cool seeing dogs. As long as they're courteous enough to pick up after themselves, that's super cool. Hey, homie. He's going to do it again in like 5 seconds. Did you hear him?
Yeah.
He did it quieter. Like, that means that was his test run. He's going to be a little bit louder next. It's the Dotson, so he's on like guard duty all the time. We got a $5 super chat from Papa Willie. Boom. What did it say? I'm winning the giveaway. Y'all better wish for next time. I appreciate the $5 super chat, Papa. Boom. Taylor Winder, what is going on, homie? Hey. Yeah, Papa Willie has a fantastic streak of winning giveaways. When we did the first appearance of Wolverine giveaway, he won that one. He won a Legion loot before. I think he won 2 Legion loots. Yeah, pretty sure he won 2 of them plus the Wolverine. Hope you're doing good tonight, T-Dubs. Hello. Not far from 4K now. I don't talk about it, though. But since you brought it up, I crossed 3.9 a couple of days ago. It's already over 3.2. And I've tried to stop doing shorts to get some like regular momentum. I'm being really rough on my algorithm right now, doing the content that I want to do while still paying attention to like trying to do fun stuff for viewers and not getting like what's it called, like almost shadow banned by the algorithm where it just doesn't share your content. Because it's easy to make videos that get a lot of views, but they're not always the videos that I necessarily like doing. So finding a way to do that, I'm trying to find ways to mix stuff that like gets a bigger reach so that we have more people to talk to and participate in the community and all that kind of stuff and on the channel, but still making it content that I like to do is kind of not necessarily hard. It's just a balancing act. I don't want to be a certain kind of channel. I just, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just don't want to, I don't know. It'd be easy just to That's why I don't make Acolyte review videos. If I did that, it'd be easy to get tons of views. Just to be just the next person hating on that show or something. But I don't want to be that guy. Hi to everyone in here tonight. Hello to you, Kenny B. Hope you're doing good. Pop, you have a strong chance given you have won before. Yeah. Brother John has a strong chance too because Paul's here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at 1692. I'll catch up with
Nice.
you. Do it. Do it. Nah, Mark. Do what you want, pimp. All the legends always will. Watch Legion. Durs, I want you to know something, man. And you know this, but I love you, bro. I love me some Durs. He's just awesome. How many times a week do you get called a pimp and a legend?
Exactly. In a loving way.
In a loving way. Pimp definitely once a week. But
Yeah,
legend
exactly.
often. You
Mm-hmm.
definitely, legend often. But I'm working my way up to 2 pimps a week, maybe. We'll see. What's up, bro? Just finished New Empire, my new favorite Kong Godzilla movie. Let's go!
Nice.
Yes, dude, it's nonstop. That movie was so fun. And I know like people like some critics out there were criticizing like the generic feedback of everyone saying it's fun. Well, that's not really critically reviewing it, but that's just saying like, yo, like everyone enjoyed that movie except for Durs. Like literally.
But we still
Durs was
love her.
wanting, yeah, he was wanting another serious installment into the franchise, which the franchise is very versatile. You know, like King of the Monsters was pretty serious. 2014 was very serious, and it's kind of gotten more lighthearted, more Showa era along the way. But yeah, dude, I absolutely I've watched it so many times I can't even count. I use the popcorn tin from the theater as my little next to me at the desk bucket even.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are great. I got Avatar toys and the Avatar ones for the kids and the King Kong one over here for me. I think I won the first Legion loot or close to it. Nice. We were just minutes to watch into it. Yeah, I just watched it myself. Great movie. It's a blast. I need to watch it again after not having -1 stuck in my head. Yeah, that's not even fair. That's not even fair whatsoever. -1 was the best movie of 2023.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm waiting for that to come out on
Physical.
video, on physical media. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I hope Groove gets that. I know you've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
The like what is it, like 8-disc bells and whistles set, like super fold out, all the art on it, all the special features and everything. And I'm sure it has, I'm assuming it has the Godzilla -1 color version as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want that. Whatever's in that, I want it. Gotta have it. I've got my that's funny because I was moving stuff around. I've got my Criteria collection right here, and I love this thing. This big Blu-ray box set, the Criterion stuff. Nothing's ever far out of reach. But yeah, I think it would pair well with that. Did you order any of the physical media for the Godzilla stuff?
No, not yet.
The Legendary. I don't know if you get into that. You know, I got that box set, and it was you that pointed out I got it in a week early too. That thing was really well done. But yeah, -1, you can just, it's like apples to oranges. I know they both say Godzilla on them, but it's just, I wouldn't want Legendary to try to do their version of that tone film with them so close together. I think Legendary made the right call. I'm not a Godzilla super fan. I did thoroughly enjoy the new movie with my son in theaters, though, and that's all that matters. Exactly. Yeah, the company you keep can definitely change your experience. I enjoyed Shazam 2 because I went with my oldest daughter, and we don't get to do a lot together. People, I wish you enjoy the episode as much. I'm waiting for it to come to VHS. Hey, it will. Dude, there's companies out there that cut stuff to VHS and do nice box art for them and stuff. Tony loved it. Still haven't seen. You got to catch up, Carlito. You got to catch up. Get into the Acolyte so I can start to argue with everyone. You want to do it? I don't think I'm going to be able to catch up with the chat. I'm almost there. Local shop is doing big movie poster sale in 2 weeks. Hoping to get a Godzilla versus the small monster.
Nice.
Oh, that would be dope. And like an OG version of the poster. Like that would be like late 70s, wouldn't it? That'd be cool. Might even be earlier than that.
I would say, boy, are we going to say early 70s or late 60s?
Hipsters are still on vinyl records and not VHS. It'll be a while. Yeah,
vinyl records are big again, though.
Huge, and they've been holding for a while now. Oh, nice. The theatrical OG. That's nuts.
Nice.
what do they call the smog monster? Hedora? Was that the same one? 'Cause I know these have like some of these have like multiple names on them. I think it's 1971, so early 70s.
Yeah.
If that's the same one, I think that's the same one. Well, let's get into it. Let's talk some stuff. We can definitely. I'm going to show off the Legion loot real quick. Take 2 seconds to do that, and then we'll definitely start with the Acolyte. I want to spend the least amount of time on it as possible, unless other people deem otherwise. We'll see how that goes. There are a bunch of posters on the sale. Last Starfire, Westworld, Logan's Run, a few other posters I'm chasing. Dude, that's super awesome.
Nice.
I would be after all of those. That original Westworld movie poster is really cool. Vastly different.
Well, you used to work at a video store too. But I used to work at a video store, and I used to take home all the posters.
Mm-hmm. I've got over 200 movie posters stored in the comic building.
Mm-hmm.
They're all rolled up and stuff. Yep, I worked there for years. I was store manager of Movie Stop. My old bachelor house, the living room was covered in movie posters, and I would change them out. And
yeah, same thing. My college, when I was in college, the living room had posters all over it.
Yeah, I never had the heart to get rid of any of them. I'd take them down, and they're all just like rolled together. Mm-hmm. Well, there's a lot of different rolls of them, but there'd be like 10, 15 posters rolled together and banded and stuff. But there's some cool stuff in there. It was a great era of movies, like some of the big ones that stand out. Like I even have like some of the large banners, like Transformers: Dark of the Moon, Captain America: The First Avenger, like those like 15 by 6 feet banners and stuff that are canvas and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Avengers came out while I worked there. Dark Knight Rises came out while I worked there. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Prometheus. Like it was just so many good movies at that point. But yeah, this is what's going to be in the Legion loot for this month, or for this big giveaway tonight. And we'll draw this before we get out of here, but I'll show everybody what's going to be in there. And we'll dive into some stuff for a little bit, and then we'll draw it. Of course, the big one is the New Mutants 98, first appearance of Deadpool, Gideon, and Copycat right there to celebrate Deadpool and Wolverine releasing later this month. And then, of course, you got the reprint as your reader copy and the foil as your foil copy. It's always important to have foil copies of things. And keeping with the Deadpool stuff, we have the Hot Wheels Premium Scooter signed, remarked, and chiseled by Rob Liefeld. The first appearance of Weapon X, so this full appearance of Marvel Comics Presents 79. Get you a little Wolverine key. And in case Dazzler shows up, we've got the photo cover of Dazzler issue number 21. I'm digging. I'm absolutely digging the new Space Ghost series. So we got the foil issue number 1 from Frank Cho and number 2 by Martina, which I picked that up right before the AI kerfluffle happened. I guess that's what you call kerfluffle. And then we got Flash number 1 foil. That's one of the big time collectible sponsor books. Venom 33, John Jang sponsor book from BTC. Star Wars 25, the Tyler Kirkham. Deadpool issue number 10. This is the Taco Time homage. So more Deadpool stuff. That's also from Big Time Collectibles. And then because I love me some Ghost Machine. If you don't know, you must be new to the channel. But Ghost Machine, Ghost Machine, Ghost Machine. If I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. I'll keep saying it. Ghost Machine. The most exciting, best stuff that's coming out in comics today. And so we got Ghost Machine issue number 1, the big one-shot, signed by Jeff Johns with the cert. Geiger number 1 from the all-new ongoing series, the variant cover by Yvonne Reese, signed by Jeff Johns with a cert. Rook number 1, the Jason Fabok A cover, signed by Jeff Johns with a cert. And because it was just the 4th of July, and he's everybody's new favorite robot, right behind the T-800, Junkyard Joe number 1, the Coliseum of Comics exclusive by the Ghost Machine colorist, Brad Anderson. And Coliseum of Comics is also
my local comic shop,
where we will be going next week.
Mm-hmm.
And then last but not least, because I didn't forget this time, Jerry DeCar, Marvel artist who worked on Deadpool in the late 90s. The commission piece from him, signed and everything. I met him at ABX Comics and Games. He came there for a little setup at the shop last year, and I got him to do a Superman piece for me, and I got this Deadpool piece off of him to have for this giveaway. So I've sat on this thing for, I think September will be a year. If I'm not mistaken, he came in September, but yeah. Mark has never played Burger Time, I Weep for Humanity. I have not, but I hope you played it for me. Tonight could be your night. What is going on, Dope Comics? What is up, homie? Hope you're doing good. So yeah, So everybody that was entered on time, I got their name on the wheel and all that good stuff. So we'll spin that bad boy toward the end. We're not going to be here forever tonight. Busy work weekend. So we're going to dive into some stuff. We're going to get the ball rolling, and then we'll do that. I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
GI Robot is back. The beer time version was better. I don't think I saw that one. Killer Fox, awesome giveaway. Burger Time is the best. Oh, we got a bunch of Burger Time fans in here.
In television, wow.
In television. I'm lost on that one. So I guess by crowd request, we can easily start with the Acolyte. I don't know if I want to. You want to? We're going to talk about it regardless. You go ahead. What did you think of this episode?
It was definitely a letdown from the previous one. Still, I think the previous one was probably the best episode so far. I still have a problem with the fact that Saul couldn't tell that it was May. He had to rely on that little, mini beaver running around to tell him basically that it was, that
the
it
one
was
that
May.
had the vaudeville fight with her earlier.
Yeah, exactly. So that still kind of gets to me. I still think that there's something that they did actually go through the whole thing with, is it Catorsis, the whole thing that with the lightsaber in the helmet was Catorsis, and it was able to kind of like shorts out the lightsaber for a little while. I still think that there's a part of the story that we don't know of something, and they kind of alluded to it. I think at one point they ask she asks Saul when she's still posing as Osha. She asks Saul, what else happened up there, and he doesn't answer her.
Yeah, this plot wise, it was an expected episode after what we saw in the last. It's like the fallout and repercussions of what happened in the last episode with the slaughter of all those Jedi and the parent swapping, the parent trapping of our main character. But yeah, to your point, it pretty much starts with May and Saul on their ship together. And I don't know if you remember the last week, but people argued with me when I said he should be able to sense her. They said, well, no, because he's not just open mind reading her. That would be invading her privacy. Jedis don't do that. This isn't Martian Manhunter we're talking about. These are Jedi. They feel the Force. They're not invading your personal memory.
He should be able to sense duplicitness, which is what she would be having going on in her mind, without going deep into her mind to get all of her thoughts.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't read minds. That's not a thing that Jedi, like. Since when have they ever read minds? They just it's like someone walking in a room with an actual aura. Like amber is the color of your energy. You know what I mean? But the worst part is everyone was saying that he wouldn't just be doing that. I'm like, they don't choose to do it. And the first thing that happens in the show is she's sneaking up behind him to kill him, and he does it. He senses her and calls her the wrong person. Still thinks it's Osha. After confirming that I can sense you and I sense you are Osha. My head spun around. Like, this is crazy. This is a joke. Like, it's a literal joke. Saul couldn't sense her because he was clouded by grief and rage and some shit. Yep. So he's a Sith. There you go. Exactly. I agree. I agree. I think that's where they're going with this, is they're making the Jedi out to be Sith. But we also get Smilo Ren on Planet Who Cares with May or Osha waking up. And instead of her being like, homie just killed all these buddies of mine and this and that, she's all like, let me go just like talk to him cautiously. He's naked. We get another like naked scene where she looks down at a schlong, and then they just kind of move on from it. But you see some scars on his back that kind of allude to a weapon we see later with earless Yoda lady, her whip.
Yep.
But like, God, it was just terrible dialogue. Just the story was kind of boring. They alluded to the revealing of what actually happened on the planet Witches, and alluding to what, like Saul's finally getting ready to tell May, and May's like getting ready to kill him, and she's not, and she's friends and she's not. They just keep flip-flopping with her.
I was going to say that. I mean, she starts off wanting to kill all the Jedi. She gets to the Wookiee Jedi on the planet, and she decides, I'm not going to kill him anymore. I'm going to join him. Now that she's with Saul, she wants to kill him again.
Yeah, it made no sense. And the part that got me, and again, like I was talking to my buddy Coco Unlimited, and I say this to people all the time. I don't know if people actually watch these shows. Like I've always watched stuff, not necessarily hypercritically, but I watched stuff just naturally. I catch details and stuff. And when Earless Yoda lady and that weird Padawan kid went to go investigate Kufar, the first thing they do is they land and they talk to some locals. They have this distress signal that all these Jedi have fallen and this and that. No one's beacons are on. And they're told by these strangers that the, what are they called? Umber moths just woke up and migrated. And because they were told that, like, oh yeah, if the umber moths are migrating, that can definitely be bad. People can get hurt and this, that. The umber moths are the things that an episode ago no one knew what they were, walking through a whole grove of trees full of them, poking them, like not having a clue. But now just the name of them, they're like, oh yeah, I know all about their migrational habitats, their ferocity, and how all this whole group of Jedi would stand no chance against their migration. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Like that stood out like you're putting a spotlight on a plot hole. I'm like, dude, like this is the laziest writing ever. I bet you never thought you'd say scolding an earless Yoda lady with a whip in the same sentence. Schlong. Yeah. I've strung worse together.
Exactly.
I've not watched the latest episode. I have seen enough. It's not worth your time. But the whole episode was just setting up that we're going to talk about why Darth Ezra is a bad guy and why Soul's been keeping a secret on what the secret is. We know what the secret is. They slaughtered those witches. One of the witches got trigger happy and the Jedi slaughtered them. Ain't no secret. And then on top of that, like the stuff they're playing with the Jedi stuff, like, or with the Sith stuff is just, it's, there's like, he's like, I'm embracing my true self and the anger and the hate. And she's all like, oh, that's the dark side. Like this dude doesn't come across like dark side. He's saying these words, but is like, he's not presenting these things. Like dark side, like people are kind of like really in their hate and in their anger and like all those internal feelings are projecting outward. Like this dude's like chill as a cucumber and mad handsome. Like I'm not sold. I'm not sold.
And it's be interesting because you still have the whole title of the show. Who is the Acolyte?
I think
is it May? Is it Osha? You think it's Darth Teeth?
I think it might be Dark Teeth because like who trained him? You know what I mean? Like is this just like a fallen Jedi that leaned into the dark side and he doesn't have a master? You know, he's being like they're like the master's coming, the master's here, but no one ever said like, yo, you're the master. You know, like we always. But I think I might be giving them too much credit for trying. If that's the case, they're writing a little bit better than they are now. Otherwise, it's just going to be like big twist. We thought it was May. It's going to be Osha. I don't know, but he did confirm. She asked him what he wanted, and he said, "I want the power of 2." From the weird chanting song that we did earlier.
So he wants to be a Sith. So there's 2.
So, well, see, that's what I thought. Like we have the rule of 2 with the Master Apprentice that's been crapped on throughout the era. I mean, that's even before Disney. Like with some of the expanded stuff, they kind of there's so many. Like there's always bad guys everywhere, but you still just have a master and apprentice. You don't have like an army of Sith, you know. But he says, "I want the power of 2." But remember, they were doing that stupid chant: the power of 1, the power of 2, the power of many. And that's how they were like trying to do their weird like witch baptism to the babies or whatever. It was so weird. So he's after the power of 2. So that means like is Ocean or Twin gonna like dock and create the power of many to stop him or something? Like there's still the power of many above it, whatever it is. Yeah, he's very emotionless, which is the opposite of the Sith. I'm not going to try to pronounce antithesis. Antithesis. My southern tongue twists on some of these words. Never tried that either. I don't have my dark side people don't like the Acolytes. Yeah. He's a pretty successful EDM DJ from Jacksonville. Oh my gosh. What is going on, Simon? Hope you're doing good. But overall, it was a massively uneventful episode. You had May running around the ship as OSHA, being playing kick the shins with the little tracker character. Just I don't know. I rated it. I think I rated this episode one Timu Hellboy out of 10 from that
Yes, you
new
did.
trailer. Yeah, I
Yep.
think it earned that Timu Hellboy. That was just rolling in a good place. I don't know. It was just there's no story in it really. Is there ever? This is like the worst chopped up series I think I've ever seen. The way that it's not long enough to really set up a cliffhanger. It's
Mhm.
just long enough to set up the episode, and as soon as you set up an episode, it gets cut with a cliffhanger before any delivery, and then the start of the next episode, you kind of just blow past any delivery or any payoff because you're now setting up the next 20 something minutes. It's just I don't know, not invested in any of the characters. There's nothing to like about any of them. It's just I don't even dislike the dark side guy. Like he
Mhm.
killed all these characters. I'm like, I don't care. Kill everyone else. Go for it. Let's talk about something good. You want to talk about House of the Dragons?
Let's do that.
If you're in the chat, sound off if you're watching House of the Dragons. Like if you're not, you owe yourself to catch up on this show. It's ridiculously good as a whole. I know Game of Thrones left a lot of people jaded with the last season. This is not Game of Thrones. It takes place 170 years before Game of Thrones. It's in the same world, same timeline, but it's completely disassociated with it. And they are very self aware of how fans felt with the finale to Game of Thrones, and they're also going to they've made promises they're not going to let that happen again. I'm a week behind, so I'm going to mute Mark. Flash me your left nip when you're done with this part. Will do, T Dubs. Oh, you're talking to you, Paul. I've
Oh,
never seen
like
the Trainer Dragon movies, much less this House of Dragons.
Mark will do that even if he hasn't finished.
Yeah, exactly. I don't remember. I can bring it right here. Started watching season 1. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It only gets better as it goes too. And I think that the first handful of episodes of season 1 are great, but you still have that adjustment period of getting into something completely new that is massive. It is a massive world, tons of characters, and they just start unfolding all kinds of storylines right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I've watched season 1 twice. Well, I've watched season 1.5 times. I'm halfway through my second viewing of it right now because I caught up on it and then went and binged all of Game of Thrones over the last 12 days. And then I started House of Dragon 1 all over again. So I'm like on episode 5 of season 1 again on the rewatch.
And I never watched Game of Thrones, so I'm actually going back and watching Game of Thrones. I'm now through 7 episodes of season 1.
Let's
So
go. And luckily, they're not massively long seasons either.
Right. Just got to the point where King died. His wife put Joffrey on the throne, even though Ned has the letter that says that he should be the protector of the realm. And
you
so,
think a piece of paper is going to protect you?
yeah.
Like, oh my god! My heart broke. It ripped with that paper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm watching it now for the second time. It's dope. I rewatched all the first season just to see how much I hated Aegon. He's a terrible king. Talking about the kid.
I mean, because you always have to, because like everybody is named the same thing in these things.
Yeah, because Viserys was the king through most of season 1, all the way through season 1,
right?
Pretty much to the end. Yeah, Viserys is the king, and he's known as Viserys the Peaceful. He was a fantastic king.
And Viserys was the name of the Khali's brother in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, if you look at the lineage, like I've got this family tree thing that I saved of all the way back from Aegon the Conqueror down, from the Doom forward pretty much, and it's like 5 names. That's all. It's like 5 names over and over again. Love how they array off the kids like it is no big deal.
But they all have like little things after them, like Aegon the Conqueror,
younger,
Aegon the Younger. They used to just do Aegon the Next.
Yeah, Junior.
Yeah, exactly.
You lucky SOB. I'd love to have all that Game of Thrones to watch. I might start a rewatch. Dude, it gets better than it was. And I'll tell you, binging it helps so much because I'd never binged it before. I'd like episoded it. like even like I would buy the box sets, but like I would watch an episode or two and then a day or two ago because I'd watch it with like my brother and friends and stuff, and it just sitting down and just I didn't watch anything else. I watched Game of Thrones. Like I
Yeah.
just
And to your
you're
point,
with me.
I'll get through season 1 within a week because they're only like
Yeah.
10 episodes long.
And it really just like, and that's all that's living in your head. You're catching so much.
Hmm.
And after I watched Game of Thrones and started the rewatch of House of the Dragons, I'm catching so much more of just because of just understanding more of the world, the places, the names, the dynamic of the houses, and the importance of like the locations and everything. It had been a long time since I watched Game of Thrones. It was great. Rihanna's aunt, her name is Rhaenyra.
Hmm.
Rhaenyra's aunt, Rainey. That's it,
Hmm.
Rainey. She had that big old dragon.
Hmm.
My favorite character in House of the Dragons came out of my seat when she
Oh,
interrupted Aegon's coronation.
came up through the floor. Yeah.
Yeah, it was insane. Yeah. What is going on, J-Med? Dude, are you watching the dragon shows? Evening Comic Book Fam, what is going on? Chop and Drop? Yeah, it's so good. So episode 3, was that this week? 3? 4. Yeah,
4, I believe.
episode 3 was the most.
Right.
4 comes on tonight, right?
I think so. Yeah.
4
Now
is
that you
on
say.
right now. 4 just unlocked 12 minutes ago, which is a good excuse to not be here too long because I am super excited to watch it. But summarizing this episode, which I believe is 3, I could be wrong. It starts off with the bannermen of the Riverlands. You see the two houses, Bracken and Blackwood, that we actually saw back in episode 1 when Rhaenyra was looking for a potential husband. They're the two houses that were arguing. They got into a sword fight, and one of them actually got gutted. So it's two houses that famously, apparently from the books, that actually kind of like a Hatfields and a McCoy thing. They've been warring with each other for so long and disagreeing that they don't even remember why they are anymore. But we're kind of seeing where the different bannermen and the different lords throughout Westeros are pledging fealty to different kings. Aegon and Rhaenyra. And then we cut to the funeral of Eric, and you get like the Eric and Eric again. Like even when you're twins, they can't even differentiate you. But in this, we get a lot of like scheming and plotting to try to build allegiances. This episode was really about like kind of strengthening your ties to an army, more or less. And we get talks inside of the High Tower, King's Landing area of them wanting to send Sir Kristen out to go secure some bannermen to get them to pledge fealty to Aegon the Conqueror. And you get over in Rhaenyra's camp them wanting to make a strategical military move and go take the Riverlands. The Riverlands is like dead shit center of Westeros, and you can cut off the north, east, and west by controlling the Riverlands. Harrenhal specifically, which is the famous castle, which is like the biggest castle in all of Westeros, that has been destroyed to ruin and disrepair since Aegon the Conqueror first took over Westeros. So it's a really cool set to begin with. So we see Daemon go there ready for battle to take it, and he's just a bunch of passives ready just to give it to him because none of the strongs that are at Harrenhal give two craps at all for Aegon. So they're just happy to give it to him. So Rhaenyra's is her little camp has successfully taken Harrenhal, which was an attempt for Daemon to kind of show favor back to Rhaenyra after the unfortunate beheading of the prince in the previous episode, that was crazy, by the way.
Hmm.
But while we're there, we get introduced to a brand new character. Her name was Alice. She's out of when you walked into Harrenhal and everyone ran, she's the girl that came walking in, and we get to talk to her for a little bit, and we get signs that she is potentially a witch, possibly our first look at one of the red witches, which are kind of prevalent in the Game of Thrones stuff. And there's a possibility that might even be the same red witch. What was her name? Malison. You'll see her in a couple episodes, Paul. With this main character who's like a red witch. She makes a comment that she's thousands of years old. So there's a good chance it could be even the same one played by a different actress. But we'll see what goes on with that. But the presence of that witch sparked something with Daemon, which was visions. He gets his first time we see one of the Targaryens having a vision, which historically their bloodline produces dragon riders and dream walkers or something like that. So it's unfortunate that he sees a vision of his own death. I don't know how much they're written in stone or not, but we got a lot in this episode. We also had Lars, Lars, the club-footed kid who works in King's Landing. He's actually of the same household as the scared wussies in Harrenhal. That's why they were happy to pledge to Rhaenyra, because they don't like him, and he's
Right.
He's in King's Landing scheming. He's a terrible person. He schemed his way to being the Master of Whispers, all while Melisandre, she was all from season 1, who Damon used as like a little chess piece against his brother early on in the show, pretending that she was pregnant, that he was going to marry her, and he stole the dragon egg. She actually made it to be Master of Whispers of Rhaenyra's house. So a lot of shifting, a lot of dynamic setting. And then at the end, we get introduced to this brand new character inside of a horror house, or a brothel, if you will. Turns out he's the bastard kid of one of the Targaryens, making him Rhaenyra's uncle. And by Targaryens, like Jon Snow was called Snow because he was a bastard of the North. And everywhere you're a bastard of, like Alice, she was called Alice Rivers because she's a bastard child of the Riverlands. This guy is a bastard child of the Targaryens, making him a dragon seed, which, despite being a bastard, he's still considered to be a dragon rider. So it looks like we're introducing more potential like war leaders possibly. So in the midst of all this, there's a lot of schlongs, in case K-pop is still watching. A ton happened in this episode, introducing new characters, setting up military vantage points, cool dragon chasing down people on horsebacks. It was a good episode. This was a filler.
But the face-to-face between the two,
that was the biggest part, the end. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Rhaenyra basically sneaks into the castle of the queen, and they have this big discussion. And basically, I mean, I won't go into everything, but basically, they both decide that things have gone too far down the road for it to stop now. So they really have no way to stop it. And so they both are kind of resigning themselves to the fact that they're just going to go to war.
Yeah, and they both, in the conversation, they both agreed that we don't want bloodshed. We want a peaceful resolution. And it halfway came out, because last week we were talking about how all of these events are unfortunate events based off of not enough communication between these two friends. And they get this face to face, and they kind of uncover the miscommunication with Viserys on his deathbed, talking about the prophecy of the prince who was promised.
Right. It's actually it's the Song of Fire and Ice that he was saying instead. Not, hey, put Aegon down there.
Alicent took it as her son when Viserys, in his delirium, thought he was talking to his daughter. Didn't know he was talking to Alicent. And she doesn't, I don't know if she refuses to believe it, or if she just is choosing not to, if she's being stubborn, or if she legitimately believes that even him in that state, drugged up, covered in leprosy, dying, and just was legitimately talking about their son or not. But it's unfortunate, to say the least. Neither one of them are able to pull back. So we're in it for the long haul. War is coming. There's backup and support coming from far across Westeros heading in, and probably take some time to get there. But just like with Game of Thrones, as this is going, it's just unfolding to be bigger and bigger. I have no clue how many seasons this is meant to be. I have no clue how many books the whole Fire and Blood series was. But again,
it was at least 4, maybe even 5. But it's funny because like they went through. He takes so long to write these books. That's one of his issues. But they actually had gotten past all of the books that he had written in Game of Thrones, and so they were making this history up, a lot of it, with him, of course, but it hadn't even appeared in books yet.
Yeah, and I think that might be one reason why that final Song of Ice and Fire book is yet to come out too, because based off how people reacted to the finale and some of the decisions that were made, he might be like, I don't want to write that now, knowing how everyone reacted. But I don't know. I'm cool with sticking with the shows for now. Maybe one day when they're all said and done and gone, and I've watched them numerous times, and my kids aren't as young as they are, and I'll sit down and try some more. That was a big pop. Sounded like lightning just hit a tree or something.
Dynamite did a whole comic series of Game of Thrones as well.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
What era was it set on, or was it just adapting stuff?
I think it was just pretty much. It was like faithful to the book. It was it wasn't too long ago either. It was only like 5 or 6 years ago. Maybe a little bit older than that.
Well, it won't be the book that we need. We need that final chapter. See how it differs from season 8. See if you want to interchange it, kind of thing. But yeah, episode 4 drops tonight. We'll see what happens. Dragons are everywhere. Yeah, I'm excited for it. It's good stuff. There's so much lore in this stuff. There is so much lore to unpack, and
Hmm.
it's just fun to get these massive stories where you can just spend so much time just watching an episode and then diving in to like everything that kind of comes along with it. But you got anything for comic news for this week? I don't even know if I did.
Um, we had the first cover of apparently what's going to be an ash can from San Diego Comic Con for Absolute Batman.
They actually I didn't even see that. So this is like the first. I've been waiting and waiting for.
It was in one of the chats. Um, I think it was in the Burke, might have been in the Burke fam chat.
Oh, that black and white thing.
Yeah.
Well, that looks weird. Who's drawing that?
Nick, well, I don't know who did the cover, but apparently they think that Nick Dragotta may be doing the art and Scott Snyder may be doing the writing. So the rumor is that San Diego Comic Con is that they're going to announce it's called Absolute Comics, that Scott Snyder is going to be kind of show running, but it's going to be for the most part kind of like hands off. It's part of the summer. Yeah, there it is. Um, and the rumors are that Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta are going to be doing Absolute Batman, that Jason Aaron is going to be writing Absolute Superman, and Kelly Thompson is going to be writing Absolute Wonder Woman. And it's supposed to be, although not in the same universe as the regular people, it's going to be it's going to be in a positioned in a way that they could possibly cross over and that they may actually be aware of each other and at some point. So, although they're going to try to keep them separate, there will be a potential for some crossover if that's what they decide they want to do.
That's a wicked image.
Yeah.
It looks like he's got like spikes on his shoulders.
Hmm.
Very wicked. Now art looks very unfamiliar. With a cover by Nick Dragotta.
Yeah.
Dragotta.
Hmm.
That's pretty cool.
So there's no, I mean, he may not be doing the interior art either. He could just be doing the covers too. But
Man, absolute Batman. Look at the strange symbol they're using, just like a
yeah.
rectangle with points on it.
Hmm.
Very odd. That's interesting. That is interesting.
Hmm.
I don't know what else happened. I mean, obviously more Superman photos, but it's getting like tiresome even bringing those up every week. There's a squirrel on set.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, they also, I mean, this is different than that, but um, they showed they'll be in the next set of solicitations for Image, but they showed the first issues of Hyde Street
Oh,
and
now we're
Devour.
talking. Now we're talking. Yeah, I shared those on my Instagram. There's some really cool ones too. I'm going to pull this up.
And they should be in this month's, because this month will be the October solicitations, and that's when they're supposed to be coming out.
Yeah, because I shared those. I'm like, let your LCS know, and you message me like they're not there yet.
Yeah.
I was excited. First off, we do have some really cool
Yes.
absolute power variants for Task Force 7. You know, through that series, we're going to see the Amazo army on a warpath through the DCU with their targeted superhero counterpart being their victims. And these variants are fantastic. I think they're Stephen Platt's, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Yep. Hmm.
Yeah, those are super dope.
And there's 7, one for each issue. So.
And there we go. We got this Mr. X-Ray. I think this is the B cover. This is the Gary Frank cover. That was super cool. So this is Hyde Street.
Hmm.
John Landau. That was terribly sad. There we go. This is the one. This image right here. I don't know if this is a cover for Hyde Street or what, but this is an Ivan Reis image, and it's an homage to a Norman Rockwell.
Hmm.
Like, how cool is that? Wrong button. Good grief. Suck at this. Yeah, I thought that was absolutely awesome.
Hmm.
Super cool stuff. And then there you have the cover sets for Hyde Street as well as Devour. And this is our first real look at Devour. This is going to be one that Maytal is working on. I can't pronounce her full name without butchering it. But this will be a lot of new creators that we'll be seeing doing their first work for Ghost Machine this October when these titles hit. And I think it's fantastic how they timed their horror titles to actually launch in October.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those mugshot covers are super cool.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it as advert for Hyde Street. I hope it is a
Nice.
cover as well. Yeah. I'm wondering if it'll actually be like a page splash on the inside, possibly. For that world's most dangerous Boy Scout. Like, that kid's got me creeped out. I'm definitely excited for it. Let's see, what else did I have in here? The giveaway. Oh, God. Yeah. Zach, James Gunn's Justice League there. We got comics curing cancer stuff happening. That's definitely worth mentioning. I do want to say if you haven't already, we put out the call today. We're trying to start the I guess it's called the begging period. This is where we reach out and ask everybody if you planned on supporting or helping out with donations of any kind. This is now the time that we're looking for them. Specifically today, we pushed hard to make a call for all artists. If you're looking, if you had original art pages, if you have sketch covers, painting, etc., whether you produce them yourself or you just own some pieces you'd like to donate, that's what we're looking at getting in order now, because this year we will have a dedicated art show, where last year the big auction included all the books as well as the original art and sketch covers and stuff all in one show. We're going to separate those things so that we can target the audiences better. And if people don't want to sit for that entire long stream for one or the other, it shouldn't necessarily be as long if we do it this way. So be sure to check out Comics Curing Cancer. It's tagged down below. And this image over here next to us is 2 pieces from Matt Wilson that he did and handed over to us at Heroes Con this year. Fantastic artist there.
He was the one who did the cover for the book last year that you guys did.
He did Unnatural Order, and
Right.
he's fantastic. Fantastic. This was actually huge, terrible news right here. Like, it's no secret, I'm a big James Cameron fan. I like to get Avatar'd. Love me some Titanic. And this was like one of James Cameron's closest friends in the industry, if not his closest friend in the industry. But John Landau has worked side by side with James Cameron for decades now, and he passed away from cancer at the age of 63 this week, which is a huge loss, obviously, for his friends and family, but for anybody that's fans of cinema as well. This guy's been a big deal in the industry for a lot of years, and I think the world is a lot less than it was because we lost this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was active on social media and stuff. He was clearly a big family man, and he just seemed like an all-around good person, man. And I think those are few and far between in Hollywood. We'll see. I'm not sure if I like the name Pranky, but I'm all in on Hyde Street anyways. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, right? We'll see how it goes. Yeah, that was a bummer to see him go.
Mm-hmm.
Probably could do this more often. Just pull up my IG and look what I posted. But I know I didn't post as much this week. It's been busy. Holiday week. And it was 4th of July. That was fun.
It was.
Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing with yeah, there it is. I don't know if we talked about this ever on this show, but the Terminator Zero show, mentioned I'm a big James Cameron fan. I love me some Terminator. I think Terminator 2 is the greatest action movie ever made.
But you hate you some anime.
Here we go. Like... Here's where the dilemma comes in. I am not a fan of anime, but we're getting a brand new show called Terminator Zero on Netflix from the animated studio that brought you Ghost in the Shell, which I also don't care about. A show called Terminator Zero premieres August 29th. Now, here's another thing. I'm not a fan of anime at all. But, we forgot to show T-Dubs The Sign. Oh, well. But Timothy Oliphant's been cast in this show. We don't know what role he's playing, but I love Timothy Oliphant. I'm definitely going to give this show the old college try. And we'll just see how it goes. It's not far from now. That image, I just absolutely love that image. I love the idea of T800s having like the learning programming chip, and you like take the you flip the switch in their head and they're able to like, just evolve and learn with you, and they're also not killing you anymore. I love the protector angle to it. I like it a lot. Anime is a medium, not a genre. You won't convince me of that.
Like, anime is not even a medium for him. It's definitely
It's definitely a genre.
Yeah.
Not an anime fan. Boo this man. Yeah, just can't get into it, man. I like Akira. That's all I got.
I can't get this guy to watch My Adventures with Superman because it's anime.
I tried though. I tried.
It's got everything else you would love. It's got Amanda Waller. It's got all the good things that you would love.
You know, it's crazy. They just released a Suicide Squad anime, and
Yeah.
I haven't turned it on. Like they're literally making stuff just to piss me off now. Superman, Suicide Squad, Terminator. Like you're hitting my tops. These are like my highest of highs. But I'm not one to think like I don't pretend like it's not good. It is, you know.
Mhm.
Ugh. I don't like anime either, but stoked for the show. I'm stoked for it. We'll see. Mark will last one episode. Probably not. We'll see. Zero is a good name. It's how much interest I have watching anime. Yo, like anime's huge, like huge, massive. And it's because the stories are captivating. They get people engaged. People love it. And I believe this is true. I believe
Yeah.
this is true. But like
If you
I'm not ignorant to the quality of it. It's just there's just something about it. It's just I love My
if you,
Neighbor Totoro. I've watched that movie in all reality easily more than 25 times. I legitimately love Studio Ghibli stuff. I've seen all
mhm.
of the Hayao Miyazaki stuff. I love Studio Ghibli stuff, but I don't know what it is about. I don't know. It's just weird. Some stuff I just can't get into.
If you're a big anime fan, actually, it's probably if you're a big manga fan, the big manga news that came out this week is that, or maybe it was last week. Probably the biggest or one of the biggest things in manga is My Hero Academia. They just announced that that's coming to an end finally.
How long
So
has that one been going?
long time, long more than a decade, I think.
Is One Piece longer than that one?
I am not sure, to be honest with you.
Johnny Boy said every con is 90% anime cosplay, and I have
Hmm.
no clue any of them are.
I'm with them.
Yeah, you should come to Heroes, man. That's 90% comics. Niche area anime.
Anime is for Johnny Boy, but anime is basically a cartoon manga, basically,
Yeah.
in a lot of ways.
Oh, oh yeah. One's on TV and one's in a book,
Right.
right? That's
Yeah,
all.
manga is the book that you read from back to front.
Over 1,000 episodes on One Piece.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Wow.
Dragon Ball's been going since the
Yeah,
80s.
probably. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I heard someone say that One Piece is like I think like there's different ways you can measure it, but like the one of the longest running shows or has the most episodes. Like I think there's something that like depends on how you split hairs, but it's like in the tippity top of the longest running or the most there is. Mark can't read manga. You're right. You can't
Can't
even
even
read
read
Anna.
the
Nailed it.
stamp.
Unless you watch hentai. Oh,
Yeah.
nah. Someone say anime. Point point.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Durs couldn't even watch the Suicide Squad one. He told me like we were talking about it. I said, I'll go check it out because he knows how like he has a good idea like my gauge on it and everything. And he's like, dude, I had to turn that one off. Like it's subtitled and everything. There you go. And One Piece has the most episodes. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
the specifically the My Hero Academia is the manga is coming to an end, which could mean eventually the TV show or the movie. They've done some My Hero Academia movies too, I think.
Fist of the North Star. I like that one. That was a good movie. Yeah. Vampire Hunter D. I remember watching Robot Corner like back in the day. Like I mean, back in the day for Sci-Fi Channel, and it's early. It used to have anime Saturday morning. And they weren't for kids. It was just anime on Saturdays. I'd watch a lot of those.
Yeah.
Like me some Dragon Ball. The X Men anime was good, and I remember those. They did X Men, Blade, and they had Wolverine had one.
Yep.
I have all of those. I like the Blade one a lot. It's definitely not Batman the animated series. Is I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. It ain't touching Batman the animated series.
Mhm.
MHA final season has been absolutely
My
phenomenal.
My Hero Academia.
Okay, yeah, you know I was about to ask. 80 to 90 anime is the best. And I think that's the most of the stuff that I've watched and enjoyed. Has like the Studio Ghibli stuff was from back then, I'm sure. And then yeah, Lily Cat was a really cool sci-fi one. Oh, the TV show is two
All
to three
right.
seasons behind the books. I played Fist of the North Star in the morning. Dang. Yeah, they weren't like I have Fist of the North Star. I don't remember when I first saw it, but I have that one. I mean, I have some anime, I guess. I guess it's just the shows. The shows I can't really get into. I think my brother ruined it for me. He's a big Dragon Ball Z fan, and coming home from school and him just watching them just
Mhm.
charging or just crying like this. I'm like, what
Mhm.
is happening?
DC did this past year. They may still be doing them, but they did a couple of manga things. They did a couple with Superman, or they did one with the Joker, one with Batman.
Yeah, yeah, and something about like the one they did with Superman was like a crossover between some guy who eats food or something. It wasn't a superhero character, just and then they just announced a
Some
new
guy who
dude.
eats food. That narrows it down.
No, you would like it's a character, it's his thing.
Okay.
He's like the Anthony Bourdain of manga.
Okay.
He goes around and eats food. I'm not sure how his story ends, but they just announced the DC animated film and we're returning to the DC animated cinematic animanga verse stuff. They did Batman Ninja probably about
Mhm.
4 or 5 years ago now.
Mhm.
And it was I didn't like that either. Jump the shark. But we're returning to that. It's Batman Ninja versus the Yakuza League. So they're
Mhm.
introducing the Batman Japanimation stuff of their Justice League, which
Mhm.
some of it looks cool as like a still photo, but um, yeah, you can try. I promise you. I'm very open. I promise you. I'm open to it. I'm very aware that I don't enjoy it, but I continue to try stuff. I continue to try stuff. I've been preaching this for years, but 2017 Castlevania is insanely good. Motu season 2 on Netflix was epic too, only 4 episodes, which is lame but good. I'm not watching it after what they did in the first season.
Mhm. Yeah.
I got hoodwinked.
Yeah. Master of
Batman,
the Universe, and then he was never in it.
yeah, Castlevania is good. You gotta admit that. See, it's crazy. The chat comes alive with anime talk. I mean, that's just a testament to how good it is. It's just,
Mhm.
it's a me thing, guys. It's me. It's not you. It's me. I'll keep trying. What is going on, Justin? I was never into animanga myself. Only really liked Assassin's Classroom and Alita. Now that's the movie I like. Alita Battle Angel.
Mhm.
That's a good one. John Landau, who just passed away, is responsible for that movie as well. He produced that one with James Cameron and obviously Robert Rodriguez directing it. It was a huge emoji.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, it was. It was terrible. But yeah, let's see. It says a lot when 4 out of the top 10 most watched episodes of all time are all from Attack on Titan. That's one that interests me. There's a live action version of it too. I might check that out and just see what that does for me. I don't mind foreign films. Foreign films don't bother me one bit. Watching stuff, reading the movies or watching it dubbed, neither one ever has bothered me. But and I know people say like the live action versions always suck, like Death Note and all that stuff.
Mhm.
That they don't do a good job. But I don't care if I watch it and I like it and it gets me into it. It worked, right?
Mhm.
Akira is the goat. And does anyone
Mhm.
dispute that? Does anyone argue that Akira is the all time? You've seen Akira, haven't you?
Yeah. Like that. Loved it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Mhm.
It's like Blade Runner and it combined. It's weird, but I liked it. It's so good, Mark. Don't watch the movie. LOL. Talk about Attack on Titan. That's what they all say. I'm gonna watch the movie. Those big giants just walking around with that big grin. Bubblegum Crisis sounds lame, but it's 4 women in Iron Man type armor riding motorcycles, kicking boomer butt. Boomers are giant robots, not old people. Good to know. Tomorrow I want to watch the new Beverly Hills Cop movie on Netflix. I've heard a lot of good stuff about that. Everyone said it was good.
Right.
Yeah, well, what that's your preference, but is it better than Akira? Still, people probably do argue it, but Akira is indeed the goat. You know,
Mhm.
I had Akira on VHS. I think I still do somewhere. This turned into an anime stream. Let's talk some books, and then we'll draw this giveaway, and we'll be out of
Okay.
here at a reasonable time. Because everybody, we have House of the Dragon episode 4 available to watch tonight, and if I'm not too tired, I'm going to definitely fire it up tonight. It was a good week for books. It wasn't a big week. Wasn't a big week. Oh man, I got to read that. I got this book from a community member. I want to show you this. I had a package sent to me by a good friend in the community, something he wanted me to check out, but he also included this book. He went to a convention and he had the privilege of meeting the phenomenal writer, Tim Sheridan, who just did amazing things over the past year with the Alan Scott Green Lantern series. He picked up this beautiful copy of issue 4. It's the Nick Robles variant, and he got it signed because he knew I couldn't be at this con on the other side of the world, known as California, and sent it to me, which is my
Nice.
first Tim Sheridan signature. This is going to get displayed. You know, I always have my figures out, so it'll end up being like a good backdrop for my Alan Scott figure. But yeah, dude, Tim Sheridan absolutely wowed me with this series. It was easily in the top 3 reads of the last year, easily. And this cover is just amazing. Him just breaking out of the lantern, flying up, left hand up. I think I don't know why it's such a big deal for me to like. You got to get the ring right. He's the only left-handed ring slinger. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. But Tim signed like right above him, right where the glow is, like right where the green flame is shining out of the ring. It's just amazing. But thank you to the person that sent that. Oh, well, there you're saying in the chat. Yeah, thank you
Glad
to
to
Jay.
be.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to put him on blast just because other reasons.
Tim Sheridan is actually from Rhode Island, where I'm from.
Is he? Isn't that the smallest state, right?
It is the smallest state. Did you
Yeah.
see the? I'm sure you probably did, but did you see the McFarlane post today with the Green Lanterns?
I saw so many McFarlane posts today, and yes, I saw the one. Matt Allen wasn't in it, but it didn't feel
Yeah,
good to have all the
it
figures.
was great. Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go. Yeah, they had Kyle, Hal, John, and Kilowog, and they're all sitting there with their rings up, and it's like a low shot and his background edited on. It looks amazing. And McFarlane has been on a run over the last few days announcing exclusives or coming to the McFarlane toy store, and they're all signature series figures. Clock King, who was the Captain Liberty or something like that? Who was that?
Yeah. Oh, the Guardian, I think, or Captain.
No,
No, not the Guardian. I know you.
it,
Agent Liberty.
Agent Liberty. Yeah,
Yeah.
Agent Liberty. All kinds of people, but most importantly for this guy, if you watched my vlog, you know that I just bit the bullet and invested in the Batman 66 size McFarlane figures. They're not 7-inch figures. They're like 5-inch figures, and they don't have the full articulation like the regular ones do. But I got it because I wanted the Batmobile to go my Batmobile collection, and I got the Batman and Robin. I even bought one Robin that was the wrong one and had to order the right one. So I bought 2 Robins and an Adam West Batman for my Batmobile. Got it all set up now. Then, days later, he announces the Adam West Batman with a wired cape and everything for the actual DC Multiverse line. I was so frustrated because that one is, I bet that's going to be one of those hard to get ones if you don't get it at release. Because naturally, I say, well, I'll wait and see if they release the Robin later. Well, you know they're going to release the Robin, and then they're going to release the Cesar Romero Joker and the Burgess Meredith Penguin. They're going to do them all, and it's going to be a slow rollout, but that's going to be fun. I like that. But the most exciting one for me, they're finally giving us a proper Batfleck from the Flash movie. I get the movie waves over everything. I love the movie figures, the live actions. And when they did the Batman from the Flash movie, he was just all black. He didn't have the blue cowl. He didn't have the gray suit with the plates painted. They're doing it. They're doing it proper. So I'm ecstatic for that one. I'm going to get that one and swap him out with the all black one and put him on the motorcycle. And I'm willing. I'll probably just get rid of the all black one. There's no reason for it. It's not movie accurate. I don't know why. I assume they did the all black one so they can do a chase figure of the correct color one. It's just taking them this long.
Did you see the Ragman?
I did. That was tough. That was really tough. Wired cape as well. It even has like the noose looking thing around his neck. Like, dude, it looks amazing.
This Friday.
I'm afraid to see the price tag on some of these now that he's like upgraded them and stuff. Like, ugh. Oh yeah, the McFarlane Marvel statues go up this week that are based off of covers that he did at Marvel. The Captain America one specifically catches my eye. Like, there's so much stuff coming from that store. It's going to hurt to have to sit on my hands and selectively buy. I want the Ragman one because in my mind I can make it make sense to put him in with like my Justice League Dark.
Mm-hmm.
But I try so hard to keep it to the movie figures or the live action versions of characters. It's not easy. The black and gold San Diego Comic-Con 2-pack looks awful. Not a fan of that move. What's that one? The 2-pack.
I don't know.
I know that for the Superpower line, he did like a color hold version of the DC Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I saw the black and gold 2-pack for the multiverse stuff yet. Batman and Wonder Woman. Yeah, I might have missed those. July 12th. It's coming quick.
Mm-hmm.
Coming quick. All right. Well, that, man, get me talking about toys. That's like getting y'all talking about anime. I'll just keep going. I still have the Michael Keaton Batman 89 gold label back here that I haven't taken out of the box yet. I bought, where's he at? Homie Joe ordered 2 of them, and I ended up getting the extra one he had off of him. But that's the only way to get the Batman 89 Batman. I have the Michael Keaton from the Flash movie, and I have the Flash Batmobile, but this is the one that's not shiny. It's like matte. And I'm like, yeah, I need that. I'll just give I'll give the Flash one to the kids. They can just, Finn can have that, get throw it in his room. Or I'll sell it. The tumbler's on the way too. Ooh, you wouldn't be interested in the tumbler. Oh, I picked up 9 1994 Series 1 Spawn figures from Goodwill for $20. Holy crap.
Nice.
I really want the Batman
I
66.
definitely want all the Batman 66.
And he comes with the Bat-Tusi hands.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that? I'm like, God.
That's not for sale yet, though, right?
No. They just showed them off. Pre-orders are coming soon. I hope they're all McFarlane Toy Store.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would love to just group them in there, drop a discount code, and get that
Mm-hmm.
combined shipping. I think I'm learning from the comment section that that's like the most expensive route to go is through the McFarlane Toy Store, because everyone gets pissed when they're not available on Amazon. But I hate ordering through Amazon. For one, I have to get my wife to do it, which I don't care, but I don't get to follow the tracking and stuff the same. But it always comes dinged up from Amazon. The boxes are always beat up. Like McFarlane packs them tight into the box, where Amazon throws them into a box guaranteed to be way bigger than the package and just duct tapes the box, and they just rattle in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Amazon doesn't consider the box as part of the product. No. All right, let's talk some comics. Okay. What'd you pick up this week?
Well, the big thing was Absolute Power started.
It started.
We will actually be talking about those tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock on DC Comics Deep Dive on my channel.
Yeah, we'll be going through the entire book beat by beat, as we do on the DC Comic Deep Dive over there. Paul's link is in the chat. You can hit that. We do the DC Deep Dives over there every Monday at 10 a.m. We also do Guess That Key every other week. And if you're not picking up the events that are going on, as well as the tie-ins, we go through all of it. We pick up and read all of it. That way, if you don't want to pick up tie-ins, you can watch that show and figure out exactly what you're missing. But overall and all, I'll be happy to say this was a great start to an event. It's called the Blitzkrieg, basically. Amanda Waller in the solicitation tells you that it's her making the play finally and going after all the heroes. We pick up right where it was teased in the back of the pages of last month's stuff with Superman getting shot. She rolls out her Amazos, and there's so much that happens with so many characters. And I'll go ahead and tell you, too, with the first tie-in we get with Batman 150, it is not filler.
That is how you do a tie-in. It truly ties into the story.
Yeah, when you close this book and open this one, and it just keeps going. This is not filler. Mm-hmm. What is going on, House of X? Reign 2 wins. Who is with me? But yeah, that's Batman 150. Also, it's the backup story that is the tie-in for Absolute Power. The main body of the issue was in fact filler. Which is kind of ironic because it's considered a milestone issue at 150, and we get a story of a henchman. He has valuable information. He has the identity of Batman. And he's going around shopping information to see what his best route is to try to make some money off of it. He finds out that that information isn't as valuable as he thinks, and his life's also in danger for just stouting it out there. And of course, it's Batman who comes and saves the day, and it tells you a story of how he doesn't even let the henchmen fall through the cracks.
Right. If you remember at the end of the Gotham War, Batman Catwoman Gotham War, the very end of that, there was this henchman who basically walked in. At the time, Bruce was basically just living in an apartment, and he walked into his apartment and saw all the Batman stuff and said, "Oh, Bruce Wayne is Batman." Well, that's the guy that we go back and revisit here in number 150.
Yeah, it was very uneventful. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I opened this book, I'm like, I knew going into it that the backup story was a tie-in. I read Absolute Power first. That's the first thing I read this week. Then I opened Batman. I get about 4 pages in, and I said, "Screw it." I flipped straight to the backup story, and I read the tie. I'm like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah.
It was tough.
Taylor's right though. Anytime you can get Dennis Cohen though on art, it's always a treat.
You know, and just to reiterate, just to really reinforce it, that backup story gives you so much information, so many details, little reveals, all kinds of stuff. I definitely suggest picking it up. It's unfortunate that they did it with a milestone issue because I think it's a buck more than normal because it's a bigger issue than normal.
Right.
Yeah. What else you got this week? It was a small week now I'm looking at, but it's good stuff. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, you got is that the
This
Tony
is a
cover?
Tony Harris cover. He's been doing
Yeah.
some awesome jobs on the B covers.
Yeah, I picked one up and gave it away. It's already boxed up. But yeah, it's gorgeous.
Which, speaking of, we were talking about comic news, is news from San Diego Comic Con that we will supposedly, although Izzyverse has apparently seen the pages, we will
Oh
be
yeah, it's on
getting
the tour.
a Starman series, a Black Label Starman series by James Robinson and Tony Harris.
Yeah, I
So,
expect Brother John to give a big woohoo.
mhm.
Yeah, Justice Society of America solicited as one thing, and it was a completely different thing. It was solicited as they did you notice that? I don't know if it was solicited everywhere, but on League of Comic Geeks, they solicited JSA number 9 on JSA number 10, saying that they're
Oh,
going
really?
around trying to catch up with Red Lantern and see if they can calm her down and get her to join the team and blah blah blah. And that was literally last issue. It was not this issue at all.
Right. If you remember at the end, I mean, if you remember, you might not remember because it's been so long ago. But if you remember at the end of issue number 9, basically the person, the Legionnaire, was revealed to be Mordru, who is basically one of the villains that always was fighting the Legion of Superheroes in the far future. He basically has magical powers, and so in this issue, we see him basically trying to work with the JSA. All of these heroes have now been having redemption things like, and he thinks that by coming back, he can have a redemption for himself now. However, the Legion of Superheroes and the Substitute Legion of Superheroes, who is who we see first, um, come back, and it basically ends with the Legion of Superheroes saying, "Give us Mordru, or we're gonna have to, do a red wedding thing."
Yeah,
Um,
pretty much.
mm,
Yeah, they know that the Huntress has got this little program where she wants all these villains to reform and be part of the JSA. So he thinks if he could come back into the past, knowing his future, if he could come back into the past, he can be reformed before he goes bad. But in the midst of all this, we do get to see him fighting side by side with the JSA a little bit. Surtur gets woken up, and we get to see him pull a crazy move and kill Carter Hall to because they needed a death to occur kind of thing. He just kills Carter Hall without saying a word, and everyone's like, "I told you he's a bad guy." He's like, "Yo, chill. He's gonna wake back up. It's no big deal." And it was cool getting that moment with Carter talking about what he goes through when he dies and what he has to relive and stuff. But yeah, we got a cool little ending. The Legion showed up, so I'm looking forward to next March when the next issue drops.
if
Should
we're
be
lucky.
decent if we're lucky. Yeah. Also out this week, Shazam 13. And nobody cares. Did you get that? Are you reaching for Shazam 13?
Did you
Did you
read it?
read? Yeah, I read it.
I did. I actually, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I actually am enjoying it more than Mark Waid's, because it actually, the whole thing with the auditing
Auditing
dinosaurs
dinosaur,
just
yeah,
was
terrible.
just terrible. At least now he's got stuff going on with the Rock of Eternity, and trying to. I mean, the concept behind what Mark Waid was trying to do with all the different separate components of Shazam that come together trying to take control of him. That was kind of interesting, but he
Mm-hmm.
just interweaved it with all that auditing dinosaur stuff that it just made me lose interest.
Yeah, what this loses me when you just have the kids driving in the van with the animals. Just it's too whimsical. It's just for me, it's just too whimsical.
I was expecting them when they drew the van. I was expecting him to have a little plate on the front that had the little air, that had the little lightning
Lightning
bolt in
bolt.
it, like
Yeah, I did see that.
Mentor had on the front of his.
Mm-hmm. There's Winnebago.
Yeah.
But yeah, they find Billy in the subway where he's just doing Billy stuff, and
Mhm.
Freddy gets pulled away. But we did get to see our first look at Captain Marvel Jr. in a costume when Freddy was narrating the story and kind of putting himself into the hero's role, which that'd be cool to get him back. But I feel
And
like
we
we're slowly just getting the whole family back, and I don't want to do that.
we saw Uncle Marvel.
Yeah, they brought him in. I didn't know that he was in that 4-issue Mary Marvel miniseries. I skipped that one.
Mhm.
What was it called? Like Champion or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Came out last
yeah.
year. That was pretty cool. So it has the elements in it. It's just I don't know. It seems very 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 Happy Meal to me.
Hmm.
Too much so. It's like they don't realize this is adults buying this book.
Hmm.
This you don't have kids going into comic shops saying, "Let me get that Shazam." I mean, maybe the timing is just off. Like they were hoping that with the movie it would have kind of thing, but the movie didn't really move the needle for this character.
Hmm.
I still watch that second movie a handful of times now. There's some fun action in it. It's good to watch with the kids. Maybe I should read this book with the kids. Just turn it into one of those. I have full intention of dropping this book,
Someday.
but I never will.
Exactly. Right after I
Uh,
drop Flash.
yeah. Right after you drop Flash, yeah, I'm gonna drop that one too. That and Titans.
Mhm.
Yeah, not happening. I'm going to talk about it. No, it's not going to be about it. Issue number 7 and Kneel Before Zod dropped this week. This has been interesting. This issue really didn't uh, shift the dynamic of Zod, where he is, who did that cover?
Lucio
Carolina?
Perillo.
That's Pearl. That's a beautiful cover. The
Yes,
spoiler cover.
the problem is that it has nothing to do with what happens in the issue.
It's issue 8's cover. They just put it on the wrong book.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so you get him on his little prison ship that he's taking control of. In the last issue, he opened the maximum security. He's dealing with the Emerald. What's her name? Emerald what?
The Emerald Empress.
Yeah, and her little floating eye, and just
Mhm.
running. It's a fighting issue. Running around, is dealing with the dynamic of the ship, trying to survive, trying to take her out, fight, and then the giant floating head deity creature that's missing the eye shows up at the end to reclaim its eye and go about its day. And then Sinestro shows up as your big kicker, and of course he's wearing red, not yellow, because much like Hal has been able to do in the past, Sinestro actually got so mad in Jeremy Adams' run that he was able to materialize, to manifest the power of the Red Lanterns with all the rage. So Sinestro's rocking the rage ring right now. So I'm excited to see that, to add that into here. I'm excited to get a little fight between Sinestro and Zod in the next issue. But more importantly, I would love to see, especially with Super Sons going, I would love to see Sinestro and Zod potentially team up and move through the rest of this title together, because I still feel like it's a good idea if they use this title to position Zod for a Superman arc. Like run this
Mhm.
series into Superman, because we should be able to get through Absolute Power, deal with the Doomsday thing,
Mhm.
potentially bring Zod in at that point to help with the Doomsday thing, and then be a problem after it. Like we said it before, Doomsday's been such a protected character. I don't want them to allow Superman to beat Doomsday. Superman should not be able to beat Doomsday. They've proven that. And Doomsday only evolves. You have to go bigger and badder to shut him down. He does have the super family that he didn't before, but how cool would it be to see them have to put aside their differences and fight Doomsday together, even with Sinestro there? I mean, that'd be
Right.
dope. There's a lot of potential with the Superman stuff. Are you going to take the Durs approach to dropping a book after 30 issues? Yeah, you mean after 3 issues? And after 30 issues. Yeah, I just don't have the heart to do it, man. I'm always like, well, the next issue might be good. And with Titans, that's kind of what's happened.
Mhm.
Like Titans has gotten better after Beast World, mainly because of Amanda Waller, though. Let's be real. Amanda Waller being in it, it's helped it tremendously. Let's see. You got another one? What you got?
Star Wars Inquisitors.
Oh, is that issue one?
Yeah, just
Fill
came out
me
last
in.
week. It basically has to do with right after Order 66. Obviously, the the Inquisitors were tasked with going through the universe and finding and killing any lingering Jedi. There's one that's called Tensu Run, um, and he basically becomes like um, a a force for rebellion and things like that. And so this is all about how the Inquisitors are trying to find him. Darth Vader appears, of course, but yeah, he's basically this guy uh, is looking for Tensu Run, and so that's basically
Is that
what.
the Grand Inquisitor? What's his name?
Yeah, I think it's the Grand Inquisitor. Yep, yep, yep.
So what is
Uh,
Marvel doing overall with Star Wars? 'Cause I thought I heard something that like one of their main series is stopping, or are they resetting anything, or was it Darth Vader that was coming to a that run or something was coming to a close?
no, they're both solicited through issue 50, which is through September. So
And you know,
um,
John Jang has a direct market variant for Darth Vader coming too. That's absolutely insane.
on number 50. So.
I thought I saw
Uh,
something where they were going to stop one of the ongoings. I don't think they're like stopping making Star Wars comics, but I
but
don't know.
what they did a little while back was they when they first started, it was set after Episode 4, um, and then they stopped it, restarted it again, but this time the adventures were set after Episode 5.
Okay,
Um,
so they might
and
just be
so,
like
but
time
they might
shifting it.
exactly they might be doing that again and restarting it, and they kind of tying it into like the anniversary number of the of the those particular, because it was, well, 84 though. Well, it was 77, 80, and 83 were the three movies, so they already missed restarting it for after Return of the Jedi, I would think.
You know, well, I guess you can only do so many issues too before like you're just going to be running into your
Yeah,
adaptations.
and they don't necessarily really want to restart it after Episode 6, because then you wouldn't have Darth Vader in there. So you definitely want in your Star Wars to have Darth Vader.
Yeah. Well, some people say yes, some people say no. Some people want to get away from the old stuff and dive into all new stuff.
I wish they would go back and do another Knights of the Old Republic comic.
The Dark Horse ones are good enough.
Mm, they
Yeah,
are.
no, yes, are they?
They are. Yeah, I like them, which is why I
I
want
was
them to do more.
yeah, I was watching what was it called? It was a video game, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Fallen Order maybe. But I was watching like the cutscenes. They
Right,
put all the cutscenes together. It's like you're watching a little 30-minute movie.
right.
That was wicked. Super wicked. You should show the best cover you got this week. I'm about to. Best cover I got this week, Space Ghost, issue number 3. Oh man, I'm in love with these Matina covers. I feel like I'm going to get crucified for doing it. But Space Ghost number 3 dropped. It was a great issue. You know, we actually have Jan and Jace are rocking with Space Ghost now, so it's really their first mission together. They're out trying to find answers with a big corporation that cost Space Ghost the lives of his family, as well as Jan and Jace the life of their father. In the process, they run into a villainous character lady who lures them into running a mission for her, promising that we will be able to get data from it. And she really just lies to them in an attempt to capture them for the big mega corporation. And Space Ghost kind of was against it, but the kids are like, we've kind of busted out all of our resources. We got no other play right now. Let's just wing it. And Space Ghost seems like he went along with it to show him like the value of trust. You know how it's definitely earned. You don't just give it away. But I'm absolutely loving this Space Ghost series. Jonathan Lau is crushing it on the interiors. Matina is killing it with these A covers. Skynet is killing it with these A covers. I mean, but it's just so good. It's great having a Space Ghost series out there. For the love of
Mhm.
God, don't let them do more Knights of the Old Republic. They will just ruin them. Oh no. Hashtag not a fan. Did you read the Dark Horse stuff, Sledge? I know Paul did.
I did. I have a lot of it.
I know AR did.
Mhm.
I think AR sleeps on a stack of Star Wars books. I enjoyed the
Um,
first
he's
Inquisitors.
not
Look,
he's not here too, but for anyone who's a Star Trek fan, we can talk about this when he's back. Um, but they just released on Netflix. They released Star Trek Prodigy season 2. If you're a Star Trek Prodigy fan,
what is that? I've never even heard of this.
it's a computer generated um, uh, thing that has to do with Captain Janeway. They're basically it's more aimed towards kids because there's like a young cast and everything. And again, it's all computer but they basically steal this prototype starship that is basically run by like a holodeck Captain Janeway, and so Janeway is in it all the
Where is
time.
she from?
She was the captain in Voyager.
Voyager. Is she the
Catherine
red haired lady?
Catherine Janeway. Right.
It's anime.
It's not anime, but it was actually on Paramount Plus. They even though they had completed the second season, Paramount Plus decided not to run the second season, and so they sold it to Netflix. And so now Netflix has both seasons, and they dropped the entire 20 episode. I haven't finished it yet, but they dropped the entire 20 episode second season last week.
Oh, nice. What did they do to Scarlet?
I don't know. I don't know.
I like Knights of the Old Republic. I just don't want a modern writer to get a hold of it. Look what they did to Scarlet. I don't even know what Scarlet you're talking about. Scarlet I'm talking about, though,
Mhm,
is the last book I have for this week from the Energon universe, which is
mhm.
Scarlet issue number 2. This is our 4th miniseries installment into the G.I. Joe corner of the Energon universe. And Kelly Thompson's writing this, and I have not read this issue yet. I didn't even realize it was in the bottom of this pile. So, yeah, I'll check that out. It's been about her just trying to bust up some bad guys who have some weapons, and her friend Jinx is in the story somehow, some way. That's all I know from issue 1. Out of the 4 that we've gotten so far, this is by far my least favorite. It wasn't bad. It's just something that I normally wouldn't get if it wasn't attached to something bigger. Aren't
Another
reading
piece,
that.
another piece leading up to the GI Joe launch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hoping when G.I. Joe gets here in a couple weeks, they'll just end the minis. Like just give us Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Void Rivals, which Void Rivals, oh my God, that last issue was so good. That mega reveal that we got. Wow. Aren't reading what? Aren't reading what? Is there Knights of the Old Republic stuff happening right now
No,
in book form?
no.
Yeah. That's fair. They're not my thing either. I don't care if you're an activist. Just you just got a lot more work you got to do to balance your story and your message to actually, don't preach to me. Put a message in there. Yeah, you can see the DC deep dive for when it happens, and it happens everywhere in all media. Like it's not limited. Happens could happen more often than not in some forms over others, but all in all, I think modern comics are doing pretty good. All in
Mhm.
all, when it comes to that, it's not very often you get like an overly heavy-handed writer. At least with the stuff that I pick up, the stuff that I'm DC heavy, and I do my Energon and my Ghost Machine stuff, and I guess that's pretty much it. I get Hulk and Ghost Rider, but yeah, Void Rivals is fire, freaking amazing. Yeah, that last issue was. Are you up to speed on it?
I am not yet. No.
Ooh, you're in for a treat. Yeah. Are you? How many issues are you back?
Only one. I just got I got my shipment last week.
Yeah. So you ended it where Springer was
Hmm.
fighting Proximus, and Solara is like dying, and I forget the dude's name, and he's like trying to keep her alive. So it's going to pick right up gung ho, and you get the big reveal. I was saying in one of my I do the top 10 list of books I'm picking up each week. I was saying in one of them, I don't understand how Void Rivals is necessarily like the backbone of the Energon universe. After the newest issue, you understand why Void Rivals is the backbone
Oh,
of the
good.
Energon universe. I'm like, Yes. Yeah, put your message in a bottle. Someone will get it eventually. I like my books to have messages. I like them to have meaning. I like them to have purpose. But I like to get to explore that purpose. I like to read a story or watch a movie and sit down with a friend that's watched it and talk about it. Like, I got this out of it, and they say I got this out of it,
Yep.
and they're both meaningful points. And we might not have pulled the same thing because we have different life experiences, so different parts of the medium stand out to us, and opposed to someone just giving you a sign that they were just
I like I like to think about my comics, but I don't need to be hit over the head with them.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing for movies, TV show, all that. You miss the point if you got to tell us your message. Like, let us experience it. It's meaningful that way when you feel it, when you come to these emotions on your own. It was in there to incite that, but yeah, Cobra Commander was close to getting dropped, but it walked to the line. It was okay. Oh, I thought Cobra Commander was solid, my dude. They positioned Cobra Commander as being a legitimate badass. Got my first paid order from ABX, and man, I have not been able to stop reading everything I got, including Void
Nice.
Rivals number 10. Let's go. Yeah, ABX Comics and Games. All right, that's it. If you got anything else you want to touch on,
No, I think that's it.
don't forget this Wednesday night is an off night for Guess That Key. We'll be back the following week for Guess That Key at 9:30 on Sector 2815's channel. You can check the description. Just click on the thing that says Sector 2815. It'll take you right over there. Hit subscribe. We'll also do the deep dive where if you want to know all of the details, play by play, page by page for whatever event is happening in DC Comics at the time. Right now, it's the kickoff of Absolute Power. If you're not getting all the tie-ins, if you want to just pick up the main and still keep up with every single thing that's happening, check out that show every Monday. Yes, that key is awesome. Izzy is a reoccurring guest over there. What is going on, J-Pop? Yeah, Cobra Commander. I thought it was good too. Yeah, it did this a little bit, but it was all at high points kind of thing. It was, yeah, it really picked up, gained a lot of momentum. I like when they started mixing him up with Mars Industry and really bringing Destro into it. The little positioning he did at the meeting with Destro, like blowing up and taking out all of his men effortlessly. I'm like, that was a very, very Sinestro kind of vibe. You know, he doesn't move to kill his enemies. They just start dying all around him. He's like, yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right, it's time for the giveaway. I'm going to show everybody again. This is the Legion Loot giveaway. It's the channel members that are in the Legion tier, and this was the one for the past 2 months. We bundled together to make a bigger giveaway to celebrate Deadpool and Wolverine coming out this month. So you can win. One lucky channel member is going to go home with first appearance of Deadpool in New Mutants 98. And then I got the reprint to be your reader copy, as well as the foil one, because you should have foil of everything, including Space Ghost issue number 1, as well as I got it in here somewhere. Here it is. Space Ghost issue number 2. These are the foil versions. These are not cheap books. Mm-hmm. Dynamite knows what they're doing. And keeping in the Deadpool theme, we have Marvel Comics Present 79, the first full appearance of Weapon X. Dazzler 21, because I love photo covers. And in case Dazzler pops up in the movie, you got a Dazzler book. Take a look at who that character is. I'm always going to celebrate Ghost Machine, probably for a long time. So we got Ghost Machine number 1, signed by Jeff Johns. Geiger 1, the Yvonne Reese cover, signed by Jeff Johns. Rook number 1, signed by Jeff Johns. And to celebrate the greatest country in all the lands, America, we got Junkyard Joe number 1, the Coliseum of Comics, Brad Anderson exclusive. And then from Big Time Collectibles, we have the Deadpool Taco Time 2, which is an homage to some game I already forgot the name of, Burger Time. Mm-hmm. There you go, T-Dubs. Burger Time. Star Wars 25, the Kirkham variant. Venom 33, the John Jang variant. And Flash number 1, Foily Goodness. So all of that is going to one lucky channel member, as well as the premium Hot Wheels metal Deadpool scooter, signed, remarked, and chiseled by Rob Liefeld. I got this from Rob Liefeld himself on one of his live streams. And then from the Marvel Comics Deadpool artist Jerry DeCar, the actual big sketch of Deadpool himself. So I'm not going to send this all floppy to you. I'll fold it in half and mail it to you. I'll get it top loaded and protected and sent out. All right, let's pull this wheel up. Let's pull this wheel up. So good luck to all the people on the wheel again. Thank you so much to all the channel members that go the extra mile to support the channel. I hope you enjoy the giveaways and stuff that I try to give it all back the best way I can and beyond. So I can't thank you guys enough. The interaction, the participation, the commitment to the channel, it means the world to me. I honestly thank you guys so much. So I want to shuffle these things until Paul says stop.
Stop.
And I like to remind everybody every time we do this that it was Paul that said stop. If you do not win, he is solely responsible for your loss. And also, if you happen to be the winner, he is solely responsible for your win.
Heavy is the head that holds the crown.
It is. And be sure to hit that join button if you're not a channel member and get in before the next one. We draw these the first of every month unless there's some kind of otherwise thing. And thank you to the $1.99 Legion supporter tier and to the $5 Legion tier to get your name on the wheel. Here we go. I guess I need to get something to write this down on. Winner is Circumstances.
Nice. Marcus.
Boom. Big congrats. Dude, that's awesome.
Okay, I expect to see him dancing in his underwear with
I do too.
With his
knowing
number 98.
Knowing that he does it for a lot less, I right. Definitely expect that too. Yeah, Marcus is awesome. He's been a supporter for a long time. And I hang out with Marcus on Tuesday nights on his show. Be sure to check out Circumstances. He's our he tries to find the comic book beef in the community. Mm-hmm. And
great guy.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Super fantastic. But I appreciate everybody watching. Tomorrow is a long awaited. If you're a channel member, it's been available to you since Heroes Con, but it's the Heroes Con Comic Pop Quiz. I took a bag of Funko Pops with me to Heroes Con, and I did trivia questions with strangers. Some strangers, some's not. Like Shattered Glass Comics' wife is in the video. Digger Jim's wife is in the video. Lady Durs is in the video. Try to get some fun stuff in there, and did trivia. And if they got it right, they won a free grab into the Funko Pop bag. And didn't think about it at the time, but there was House of Dragon Pops in there that I might want now. But oh well, they're gone. It was King Viserys. Had no clue who. I couldn't even remember the name of the guy when I was putting them in there. I'm like, King who? How do you say this? And now I'm like, yo, it was so peaceful. So peaceful. Pool time, man. I'm coming over. Great show as always. And I appreciate you, Sledge. Thank you so much for coming by. Appreciate that, Dale. Congrats, Marcus. Please don't do the underwear dance. Yeah. But that's going to do it. Again, tomorrow, 10 a.m. on Sector's channel. And then my video will post at some point in the day. I don't know what time I have it set for. And I might do a vlog this week. I don't know. I'm up in the air about it. I'm potentially working on alternative content. We'll see. But
it is vacation preparation week.
It is. We're going on vacation this Friday. So I don't know if I might live stream, especially now that like YouTube has like the vertical live streaming. It's super easy just to go live vertical on YouTube. So I might live stream just for at least for a few minutes while me and Paul are walking around one of the Coliseums we get. But there'll definitely be a video like last year and stuff where we go comic hunting and stuff. But you won't see anything from Paul's haul because he hides them even from me in the store.
I get them at lunch, so you don't know.
Yeah, they eventually show up within 11 months on Guess That Key.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing you, man.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it through a lot of the years. It's going to be a good time. Thanks again, everybody. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark. That's Paul. But we are Legion.